Hi everyone, it's K-Red, and welcome back to this week's Peaceful Pattern. This week we're going to do a super fun doodle. It's called Wibble. It is by Shauna Martin, and it is a gorgeous border. It is a great little string to work off in your patterns. I'm super excited about it. So let's go ahead and we'll get right started on Wibble. And so the first part of Wibble is going to be to make a circle like that, kind of like a wave, right? We come in one side, we come up, and we're going to stop right there. That's one. So let's go ahead and repeat that again, where we stop right about there for number 2. We do these in steps so that when I come back in a week or 2 or 6 months or 6 years, and I want to remember how to make Wibble, I'll have my steps right here. I do step 2 in red. So in red, step 2 is I come back on myself. Now technically we could have done this all in one, but I think it's easy to try to make these waves a shape that it really shouldn't be. So I think stopping is wise, at least until you're on a roll making them. So then we're going to do step 1, and we're going to stop right about there. And then step 2, we're going to continue it back on itself. See how I even went too high there? I think that's probably even a little bit too big there. But we're going to go with it for now. But that, I think, should have been a thinner line. I'll show you in a pencil what I think it should have been. It should have been a thinner line on itself, kind of like that. But for step 3, I think we'll be okay. Because what we're going to do next is we are taking this back out and around on itself. So once again, let's grab that pencil. We'll grab this pencil here and we'll see how it works. So we're coming, this is 1, 2, and 3. Which obviously, like I said, once you got the pattern down, you can easily do in one fell swoop. So we're going to go ahead and come back. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is, for the sake of this space on the card, we could have done it as step 4, but I think we can continue it on. And this will become this right here. And so for my card, I'll let myself know that this will become the next ones right here. Make sense? All right. Let's see if we can do a little bit better job on 4. And then we'll go into steps 5 and 6 that, to me, is the most challenging part of this doodle for me. So we're going to go up on itself, stop. We're going to come in and do a U-turn. And then after that U-turn, we're going to come up and out for the next one. And I'm going to go ahead and make the next one again. So we're going to go up. And we're going to stop right there. We're going to do a U-turn on ourselves. Then we're going to go up, around, and out. And you'll see in a second why I'm giving myself 2 of them on there. Maybe we'll do even one more. So let's do one more. We're going to keep going. We're going to make that into the circle. We're going to stop. We're going to come back on ourselves in a U-turn. And then we're going to take it on out. And we'll go ahead and we'll stop on that. So that is step 1 through 3, but we did it 3 times. So now the next thing we're going to do, which always makes me nervous, is we're going to make a V. And we're going to make the V coming up from here and down to there. From this inside row right here, and I'm going to give myself an arrow so I can help myself. From that inside row right there, we're going to go up and make a V. Now this will have been the inside row, so we would have been up and we would have made the V if that kept going. Okay? And then we turn the card and we do the same thing again from this one right here, where we're going to go up and we're going to make the V. We're going to go up and make the V, up and make the V. And what that does is it makes this great pattern that you can't even really tell how it started. So what I want to give myself, we're going to do, add the V shape for step 4, is adding the V shape. And then we're going to put both sides. And this is one where I really strongly suggest turning your card upside down to do it. So, wibbles, as it just wibbles along. Let's do one right along here, see how many we can fit in, because I think that will be exactly what I need. Let me grab a ruler real quick. I just want them to start on the same line, so I'm going to just give myself a super soft pencil line. And I might as well give myself a top too. It's not exactly even. It's good enough. I'm just going to use it as a guide anyway, just so that my circles are the same general height. So for that, we're going to come here. We're going to go up. We're going to go around, and we're going to stop. And then we're going to come back on ourselves, around, and up. Now I'm starting the next one, so I can just go ahead and start it, where I go up and around, and I'm stopping. And then I'm coming in on myself, my U-turn, and then around and back up to the next one. Up, around, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to do my U-turn, and then I'm coming out, around, and we'll do one more. Back up, off just a little bit. Stop. U-turn, around on myself, and then back out. And that will be steps 1, 2, 3, all in a row. So then from here, we're going to add our V's. How high or low we go doesn't matter. It can alternate. It would be cute all kinds of different ways. But we're going to start on this inside one, and we're going to go up and down to a sharp V. On this inside one, up and down, inside one, up and down. And there we've made the V. Now we want to complete it. Find that inside one, go up and down. I like to follow the trace of that line so it makes it look even more like it's just a continuation of how I made it. And then look at that. Look at that great flow. So much fun. Let's go ahead and erase my cheating line. If you are able to just love your art the way you do it, I don't recommend making these cheating lines. But if you're like me, who sometimes just wants to see the negative, not the positive, then I always recommend giving yourself whatever hint or tips you need. Since there are no rules, you're not breaking any. And that's it. How great is that? When you look at this, I think, oh my goodness, how would I do that? But I was able to do it. Now here I didn't follow that line real well, so I'm just going to fill that in just a little bit so that I have that kind of thing. Right here, this would have gone up into the next thing. So let's see about some shading. How do we want to shade this? And there are always a million ways to shade. But let's see about maybe some right on the inside of each of those little V's. And then we can just follow it on in. Inside of the V, we could follow it all in. I think that might be, for my personal taste, a little bit of a dark pattern going down. I think I'd like a little bit on top of each one. See about making it pop. Well, actually, you know what? Because we're doing the bottom of it, I bet you I can just pull down some of it and bring it around if there's enough. So, have you ever done a doodle and you thought, oh no, it's just way, way too much pencil. Don't panic. I personally like a kneading type. I'm just going to take a little piece of this one because it's just too big for me. I personally like a kneading type of eraser for this, but you could do it with any. And what you're going to do is you're just going to tap. And as you tap, it's going to pick up some of that graphite. So you're not blending it more. It's a straight up and down. And it can really help you if you have, I like the blending ones because I can make it, I can stretch it until I get kind of like a point. If you get too much graphite on your eraser, just blend it out. And you can even tell that I'm pushing pretty hard to pick up the paper a little bit. But see there, it just really helped. And what I thought for my personal taste is that everybody's blending taste is different though. You really enjoy a strong, heavy blend. I have seen other people do it and I think it looks great. So I would highly recommend that if that's what you like, man, just go for it. Completely up to you. And that's Wibble. Such just cute blend. I could see this being done in a big project and having this just be a string. And then I could work off of that string on either side. Very, very cute and a great addition to my peaceful patterns. It's called Wibble. It is by Shauna Martin. And it was found on tanglepatterns.com. If you haven't checked out that website, I highly recommend it. It is a great way to learn new patterns or find inspiration. It is, in my opinion, one of the best resources out there. So we're going to go ahead and add this to our patterns. And then next time I do a big drawing, I'll be able to get refreshed and remember all the fun patterns. Thanks again for joining me this week. Please stay safe. Find some time for yourself. Enjoy some doodles. And we'll see you all next week for a brand new pattern. Bye-bye.